Welcome to the Texas Avenue Improvements virtual public meeting, which has been pre-recorded for the proposed project in Bryan, Texas. This proposed project extends along Business 6, also known as Texas Avenue, from State Highway 21 to FM 60, also known as University Drive. This virtual public meeting was prepared in collaboration with the City of Bryan and the Bryan College Station Metropolitan Planning Organization to share an overview of the proposed project and provide the opportunity for public input.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Juan Quiroz, and I serve as the District Planning Engineer for the Bryan District of the Texas Department of Transportation, better known as TxDOT. This pre-recorded virtual public meeting, presented by TxDOT, is being provided to share information and encourage comments from the public on this project. This virtual presentation is available online at our TxDOT website, www.txdot.gov. To reach the project webpage, type Texas Avenue Improvements in the keyword search box. At the end of the presentation, we will share ways to submit your comments and to contact the project team in case you have additional questions, as well as to continue to stay informed about the project.
This presentation on the Texas Avenue Improvements project will cover an overview of the proposed project, project development timeline, needs and purpose, proposed improvements, environmental and right-of-way processes, adjacent projects update, and how to share your input on this project. To skip ahead to a specific section, drag the progress bar on your video player to the corresponding slide shown in the right column of this table. This project extends along Business 6, also known as Texas Avenue, for approximately 5 miles from State Highway 21 to FM 60, also known as University Drive, in Bryan, Brazos County, Texas. The proposed improvements outlined in this presentation would be constructed in 2 phases. Phase 2A would construct raised medians from 15th Street, just south of SH21, to University Drive. Phase 2B would construct shared-use paths and sidewalks along Texas Avenue. The scope of work included in Phase 2A and Phase 2B construction may be adjusted pending the final estimated construction cost and available funds. Please note that Phase 1 improvements to the intersection of SH21 and Texas Avenue will occur first. Construction plans have been developed with this construction anticipated to start in spring of 2022. Improvements include raised medians, traffic signals, turn lanes, and ancillary work. The public involvement process provides opportunities for property owners, roadway users, the public, and other stakeholders to engage with the project team. This project began in 2020 with data collection, analysis of the existing roadway, forecasting of future needs, and environmental evaluations. Following this public meeting, TxDOT will continue to refine the design based on technical analysis and public involvement. We anticipate letting Phase 2A for contractor bids in 2022 and starting Phase 2A construction, which includes raised medians, in early 2023. Phase 2B construction plans are expected to let for contractor bidding in 2024, with construction of shared use paths and sidewalks starting soon after. The project needs are based on the following issues: anticipated growth in population and traffic volumes, increased congestion, safety concerns related to left turn conflicts along Texas Avenue, and limited bicycle and pedestrian accommodations. The purpose of the proposed project is to enhance safety, reduce congestion, improve mobility, and provide pedestrian and bicycle accommodations along the corridor. The project goals will be accomplished through the construction of raised medians, shared use paths and sidewalks, as well as consolidation of driveways where possible. The next slides provide additional information regarding population growth, traffic volumes, and crash history. The City of Bryan and surrounding areas have grown tremendously in recent years. As more residents move to the Bryan area, we see more travelers walking, biking, and driving to their destinations. In 2010, the population for the City of Bryan was just over 76,000. This number grew by 10% in just 10 years to an estimated population of over 83,000 in 2020. We expect to see this trend continue in the coming years, with a 33% increase from 2010 and a projected population exceeding 100,000 by the year 2045. Similarly, more vehicles are expected on our roadways as our population increases and Bryan continues to develop. In 2010, the average number of vehicles traveling daily along this section of Texas Avenue was just over 21,000. By the year 2045, it is projected that the average daily volume of vehicles will be almost 40,000, an increase of 77% from 2010. The proposed improvements along Texas Avenue would improve safety and thereby decrease congestion and improve mobility along the corridor. In addition to congestion, several crashes have occurred along the Texas Avenue corridor. 580 crashes and 5 fatalities were recorded along the roadway from 2017 to 2019. As shown in the heat map of crash locations on the right-hand side, crashes were distributed throughout the corridor. The crash rate over this period was nearly 40% higher than the statewide average for similar roadways. The existing conditions along Texas Avenue consist of 2 lanes in each direction, a center turn lane, and limited sidewalks at various locations. The existing right-of-way width is generally 100 feet. The proposed improvements include construction of a raised median, continuous sidewalks, and shared use path where feasible. Raised medians along the corridor would reduce vehicle turning conflicts, thereby enhancing safety and improving traffic flow. Left turn lanes along the corridor would be constructed at major intersections and selected locations. In addition, U-turn locations would be provided to improve local mobility as needed. To accommodate proposed improvements, right-of-way acquisition is anticipated at specific locations for this project. These next 2 slides will provide more information regarding raised medians. Raised medians provide the following features: enhanced safety by reducing vehicle conflicts between left-turning traffic, head-on traffic, and crossing traffic, and improved traffic flow through dedicated turn lanes with adequate storage. The graphic on the left illustrates potential conflict points for vehicles entering and exiting a roadway with a 2-way left turn lane, similar to what currently exists on Texas Avenue. In this example, there are 11 potential conflict points between vehicles crossing, merging, or diverging. The graphic on the right shows how conflict points related to crossing lanes of traffic are reduced with a raised median, leaving only 6 conflict points for crossing, merging, and diverging vehicles. Please note that left turn lanes are proposed for all signalized intersections and select locations along Texas Avenue. As previously mentioned, U-turn locations would be provided as needed. Finally, here are some raised median statistics. Nationally, medians have shown a 27% reduction in crashes, and locally, recent median projects have reduced crashes by 65%. U-turns are an important component to the proposed raised median system along this corridor and have the following features. U-turns provide a safe method of changing direction at strategic locations. When roadway width is limited, such as in the 4-lane configuration along this Texas Avenue corridor, additional pavement, sometimes called a loon, can be incorporated to facilitate U-turn movements. U-turn loons can be located at either designated intersections or mid-block locations. In a study published by the Institute of Transportation Engineers, U-turns were found to be nearly 18% safer than uncontrolled left turns from driveways or side streets. This project incorporates loons at many U-turn locations to improve both safety and mobility along the corridor. In addition to U-turn movements, drivers can also use backage streets, or parallel side streets, to change direction and access nearby businesses. A preliminary schematic has been developed for the project to show the proposed improvements. The preliminary schematic is available for viewing and download on the TxDOT website at www.TxDOT.gov. Just type Texas Avenue Improvements in the keyword search box. To illustrate project-specific features for this raised median project, the subsequent slides will present examples of intersections and mid-block openings that will accommodate for U-turns. This slide presents the plan view layout of proposed improvements at the intersection of Texas Avenue at East Carson Street, an example of a signalized intersection with Loons. Throughout the corridor, dedicated left turn lanes and median openings would be provided at major intersections and select mid-block locations. At designated locations, Loons, or extra pavement outside of the travel lanes, would be constructed to provide additional space for vehicles to U-turn at the intersection. A shared use path would be added along the east side of Texas Avenue to improve bicycle and pedestrian connectivity along the corridor. Additionally, sidewalks would be added or improved as needed along the west side of Texas Avenue. This slide presents the plan view layout of proposed improvements at a mid-block U-turn between Peace Street and Homestead Street. At this location, the raised median would be configured with a U-turn lane, and a Loon would be constructed on the east side of Texas Avenue to accommodate a U-turn maneuver. In addition to the City of Bryan's $2 million contribution for project design, this project was funded with federal and state funds made available through the Bryan College Station MPO Transportation Improvement Program. The estimated cost for Phase 2A and 2B construction is approximately $26 million. Prior to December 16, 2014, the Federal Highway Administration, otherwise known as FHWA, reviewed and approved documents prepared under the National Environmental Policy Act, known as NEPA. However, on December 16, 2014, the Texas Department of Transportation assumed responsibility from the FHWA for reviewing and approving certain assigned NEPA environmental documents. This Memorandum of Understanding was renewed on December 9, 2019. This review and approval process applied to this proposed project. Environmental constraints were gathered from readily available data sources to evaluate potential constraints along the project corridor. Environmental constraints within the study area include some of the resources listed on this slide. Detailed environmental studies are ongoing for the proposed project and will be documented in accordance with NEPA guidelines for a project of this type. If you have questions about the environmental process, please reach out to the team using the project staff contact information included at the end of this presentation. Local coordination with adjacent projects will occur as needed to minimize impacts to the traveling public. As previously mentioned, the City of Bryan and TxDOT's Phase 1 intersection improvements to Texas Avenue at State Highway 21 are estimated to begin construction in spring 2022. Other projects being coordinated include the City of Bryan's drainage improvements to Old Hearn Road, which are expected to begin in February 2022, the City of Bryan and TxDOT's improvements to FM 158, also known as William Joel Bryan Parkway, which are estimated to begin construction in late 2022, and the City of Bryan and TxDOT's improvements to Coulter Drive, which are estimated to be under construction through 2022. The project would, subject to final design considerations, require additional right-of-way. However, no residential or non-residential structures are anticipated to be displaced at this time. This slide illustrates TxDOT's right-of-way process. We are currently in plan development for the project, and as such have not started the right-of-way process. However, information is available on the TxDOT website outlining property owners' rights, the right-of-way process, and the help provided by the department. This information can be found on the project webpage, or additionally at the web address noted on the slide. If you have questions during the right-of-way process, please contact the Bryan District Right-of-Way Specialist, Melissa Sevilla, at 979-778-9607. TxDOT is interested in hearing any feedback you might have on the information presented about this project. We understand this virtual public meeting format is a bit different, so let's take a few minutes and explain the comment process, which is the most important part of this video. To submit a comment for the virtual public meeting, please use one of the following methods. Mail to the Texas Avenue Improvements Project, care of CD&P, at P.O. Box 5459, Austin, Texas 78763. Email to texasavenue@cdandp.com, or call Haley Parton Public Involvement Representative at 979-217-2061 during regular office hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A downloadable comment form can be found on the virtual public meeting webpage at www.TxDOT.gov. Just type Texas Avenue improvements in the keyword search box. While comments are always welcome, they must be received on or before Thursday, December 23, 2021, to be included in official meeting documentation. To stay up to date on the project, you can sign up for email updates by sending a message to texasavenue@cdandp.com with updates in the subject line. You can also check the project webpage for updated information by visiting www.TxDOT.gov and typing Texas Avenue improvements in the keyword search box. In addition, the public may call Haley Parton, Public Involvement Representative, during regular office hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or email at any time in the development process. Thank you for participating in the virtual public meeting.